I don't want you to play anything to try to appease us. I want you to play what you genuinely enjoy. Welcome back to the Zero to Hero series, where I document my team's journey to getting Gladiator. Last episode, we found our groove with TSG a little bit, but this episode, we got a lot for you. A lot of things are shaken up, a lot of lessons learned, and a lot of obstacles we've encountered along our way. So, with that being said, let's jump into what's changed from last week. Alright, so going into week 3, I don't really have a whole lot from the other two, but regards to myself, I've gotten a lot more comfortable with my keybinds and totally prefer using them now as opposed to mouseovers. Like, even when I switch back to mouseovers to heal battlegrounds, now mouseovers are the things that feel uncomfortable to myself, which is very strange as to how quickly I've adapted to it, but I'm very thankful that I got those recommendations from you guys in episode 1. Also, I installed weak auras. This game is very hard. There is a lot of information that flies at you very quickly, so even though personally I'm of the stance that should be part of the skill level that comes with the game, is being able to mentally track those cooldowns, I do know that I'm putting myself at a disadvantage by not having weak auras. So I installed weak auras, and it has made my life infinitely easier with tracking cooldowns, especially as a healer. That's about it for the week 3 changes. Let's get into the games. Alright, so for this session, we're going to have to rely a little bit more on my narration ability because I didn't record any games for this session. This was the first session that I live streamed to my Twitch channel because we're trying to find a good balance of games that we record versus games that we live stream. And this is because recording games takes up a lot of space on my computer and gives me a lot more work to do when I have to edit. Combined with, I wanted to provide a interesting experience for a live audience, being able to watch us in real time, see the real unfiltered, raw content that goes into making these sort of episodes, and then kind of get that exclusivity stuff for the people who do show up for the live stream. What you guys don't know is that there's a sort of intermission period between the end of episode 2 and beginning of episode 3, where we ended up playing about 8 games, and we lost 7 of them. It was horrible. Our CR went down the toilet, our MMR went down the toilet, and we were entering episode 3's recording sessions with a net negative of 7 losses. You're probably wondering, okay, Moon, that's good information, good background, whatever. How did the session go itself? The session didn't go much better. We were still queuing into multi-gladiators at 1800, and we were losing game after game after game. We were fighting compositions that I feel like we should have countered playing TSG. And it was frustrating, because when you lose over and over and over again, it really gets to you in your mental, and I cared way too much. There was a lot of stuff that was not game related, which was going through my head. That being, this was December 30th, so I knew New Year's Eve and New Year's were basically out of the picture for scheduling future queue sessions. Who knows what was happening with the beginning of the year stuff? I know all 3 of us have full-time jobs. What am I going to do to try and get a good episode out for the channel? What are the viewers going to think? So much was rushing through my head, and so I would just stare there at the screen, fuming between losses, because I feel like we should have progressed out of this 1800s bracket by now. And I was just in a very bad headspace throughout the majority of the session. That was, of course, until Vinland, who is this really cool resto shaman, ended up sending me a message. His team beat mine. He was playing The Walking Dead, but he sent me this really cool whisper at the end of the game that was like, hey man, good games. You played that really well. And it almost like shook the tilt out of me in a way, just to see that there are really cool players still out there on the ladder. And obviously there's a lot of cool people watching this series too, but it was great. So I whispered him back, and we had a nice little chat that really helped alleviate some of that stress and tension that had been building up throughout the course of the night. And I queue into his team a few games later, and we actually get the revenge. We take a win on his team versus Dalaran Sewers, and it was all fun and dandy. But the session still took a turn for the worse and went poorly. I don't even know how many games we played. We didn't even track. We just lost a good bit of them. But we won too a good bit at the end, but the wins didn't feel as satisfying because I was already in that headspace. That is why I made that whole secret to climbing rating thing about not tilting, because when you do tilt, you play significantly worse. So Zicho decided to log off. You know, he had to go do IRL stuff for the remainder of the night. I was just so mad. And that was when Dam said to me, I don't understand why you're so upset. Our win rate is still about 50%. And then that's when it all hit me, is that my mindset was making things so significantly worse for our team. I was getting frustrated when we were still on track to climb at the end of the day. I was also expecting way too much out of my teammates. Um, Granted, I've played my class and spec a lot longer, but I know that Dam had only been playing Death Knight for about a week. So I felt really horrible about myself. I went and I vented to my dad about the situation. My dad plays Frost Death Knight. And my dad said something along the lines of, "You found yourself a really great team. I understand that you're frustrated from losing, but it's important to remember that you don't mess this up and cause yourself to not have a team." And those words really stuck with me too. So the next day I went and I meditated and I had my cup of coffee. I walked outside, enjoyed the cool winter breeze, and I did the math in my head. And I realized we really only need to climb about 100 to 150 points per month to get to that 2400 range by the end of the season. I'm predicting this season will end sometime in like April. And I realized that I put way too much pressure on myself and especially my teammates to succeed, to get that growth factor super quickly. Shit, everybody else is still climbing on the ladder too. It's gonna be a long while. And the rank 1 players were like just now getting gladiators. So I really needed to drop my expectations and just focus on having fun first. Then a couple days later, I was playing some twos with Dam, and we were just playing some alt characters. He was playing an Evoker, I was playing my Resto Druid. I cycloned a target low because Dam was about to die. And Dam just tilted and raged at me, which I was taken aback by because he seems like a dude who never has gotten upset. And I was also shaken by that. I was like, damn, is that how I sound? And Dam felt really bad for getting upset too. It was that sort of realization for both of us that we were becoming the epitome of players that we didn't want to see. So we made a change. We decided to focus on having fun first, improvement second, and then anything else can come afterwards. So I had to adopt this sort of fuck the viewers mindset where obviously I care that you guys are watching the series. You guys are so supportive of myself and my team and we're eternally grateful for you. And while I do want to entertain you and have these videos be somewhat informational too, I don't want to put so much stress on producing good content to the point where I'm ruining the fun for my team. So I shifted my focus onto just having fun with the game and having fun with my team first, and trusting that that alone is naturally going to make the good content that I want to see. But yeah, I know this has dragged on a little bit, but I hope you guys have a good idea of kind of what has happened over the past 2 weeks. But that's not all that's. You see, Zicho and I noticed that Dam was logging on his DK less and less and less. And while Dam does play a lot of characters, we noticed that there was one in particular which he was playing more than any other class, would research more than any other class. And every time we would log on just to hang out, he would not shut up about this one character. So after a discussion with him, we realized that he wasn't having as much fun with his Death Knight. That's when I said something along the lines of, I don't want you to play anything to try to appease us. I want you to play what you genuinely enjoy. So he told us that moving forward, he wanted to play a new class for the composition. And Zicho, of course, wanted to play something that synergized with it well. We tried playing Warrior with the new class, and it just wasn't working well. It just wasn't synergizing because Warrior's defensives work a certain way, and this class seemed to play a lot differently than what we sort of anticipated. So Zicho decided to switch classes too. I decided to experiment with some healers as well throughout a good like 3-day period. And from there, we decided we were going to switch the composition. Now, we understand that switching this composition right before the midway point of the season is generally a not good thing to do, but I am trying to preserve the long-term fun and enjoyment factor of climbing as a team, and I am totally willing to throw away the 3 weeks of playing with TSG in lieu of a new comp because we have developed synergy with each other, and I really think we'll be able to carry that momentum going forward. Alright folks, so this is the big moment we've all been waiting for that I've been hyping up for some weeks now. This is the new composition we are going to run all the way to Gladiator come hell or high water. Here it is. Rogue Mage Priest, or RMP, is a composition that revolves around getting cross crowd control on Okay, come on guys, before you go hit the unsubscribe button and type an angry comment, this is not the real comp, this is just a prank. The real comp is Warlock, Evoker, Restoration Shaman. While this composition looks a little bit goofy on the surface, as there's not really a whole lot of gameplay with Warlock and Evoker out there, we found that it surprisingly works really well together, especially with the Restoration Shaman healer, and here's why. This is the science behind the comp. Essentially what we did was we took Dam and we took Zicho and we swapped their rules. In TSG, Dam was supposed to be the source of disruption, crowd control, and setting up the kill windows, whereas Zicho was supposed to pump as much damage as he possibly could, and then use the team utility when he needed to, such as Rallying Cry or Intervene, etc. Whereas the roles are now swapped, where Dam is the main source of damage, and Zicho is now the disruption and crowd control. Personally, I think this is great. I think both of them are finally in roles now that fit their personality and playstyles the best, and I think this will set us up for success. Zicho is a much more cerebral player, and he loves to think ahead about the game. This dude only thinks about this game whenever he's not on the game. He's very good about learning about the plays, he's very good about crowd control, disruption, he's thinking ahead and he can prepare for what the enemy's going to do next. Dam is a Demon Hunter player, and he just likes to pump damage. Demon Hunter, just like Devastation Evoker, is also a very simplified class with an easy to execute high damage profile. So with Dam, a lot of his skill cap is going to be coming from using the utility toolkit that the Evoker has, since the raw damage is just going to be there. This can help create kill windows for us too. Number 2, diminishing returns will be in our favor. So how you play a caster composition is that one caster is going to be getting trained by both of the enemy DPS, whereas the other caster who's free casting is supposed to position themselves between the enemy healer and enemy DPS to set up some easy crowd control. The cool thing about Warlock and Devastation Evoker is, in a sense, it plays like a better shadow play, where either of the two casters can stand next to the healer and set up a disorient to where then I, as a Restoration Shaman, can come in and follow up with a Hex, which is an Incapacitate. From that alone, if we don't count diminishing returns, we have a 12-second CC chain that we can execute about every 30 seconds. Additionally, in other cases, I can set up a Lightning Lasso, which has the same length as a kidney shot, assuming that I don't get kicked. But because we have two other casters that can eat kicks for me, myself getting kicked is not going to be that big of an issue. So if we look at our crowd control profile, we have stuns, incapacitates, disorients, roots, and knockbacks. We have multiple of every of these, and counting my panda, we have 2 incapacitates, so haha. The only thing we don't have in this composition is a blanket silence, and personally I think we're going to be fine with it, because we have 3 ranged kicks essentially. Well, I listed 2 here because of the Shaman and the Evoker, but I guess you could count Demo's Pet Stun as like a kick. And lastly, we have the Evoker's synergy with both Warlock and Shaman. So Rescue is very good for Warlock because Warlock is not really known for having good mobility. They do have some things like the teleport and the gate, but they have to use that very smart in order to not get trained into the ground, because on their own, they're not really that slippery. The Evoker having Rescue for the Warlock gives the Warlock an additional 30% health life shield if it takes the right talent, and is essentially an extra mobility cooldown for the Warlock, which makes it super cool if Zicho's ever getting trained down. And now this next one is huge. Time Spiral for Shaman. So as Restoration Shaman, I'm pretty much always running the kick protection, where whenever I press Spirit Walker's Grace, I get about a 5-second window where I'm immune to all silences and interrupts. If Dam uses Time Spiral on me, I get to use that again for free. So if my Spirit Walker's Grace has like a 30-second cooldown remaining, I get Dam to reset me. I get 5 seconds of immunity. That cooldown is still resetting behind the scenes, and then like 20 seconds later, I have another 5 seconds of uninterrupted spellcasting. It's great. I can essentially get 10 seconds of an aura mastery every 3 minutes or so. So yeah. This is what we found out about the comp mainly through playing it for a lot of games, and you'll see as we go into session 2 what I mean by this. But, that being said, let's go into the first session with the new comp. I remember chatting with my team the other day about basically from how rocky we've had as a start of playing together, that if we were an LFG group we would have disbanded 7 times by now. And while I totally agree that we've definitely not had the best start to this series when it comes to climbing up the ladder, being stuck in the same rating bracket for so long, things are starting to turn up for the team. I think especially with this new comp. You'll see what I mean right here. Like they're rushing you, I guess. Right.
I'm CCing healer.
You got Earthen. The marker.
Okay. I'm in it, yep.
Stunned again. Come to the marker, Dan. You're...
Am I still in the Earthen? Or is it expired?
They expired. I'll drag them out. I'm gonna wall myself.
Sleeping healer.
I'll pan him out. I'm just saying, man, Panda wins games. Like, you can shit on me all you want, but look at my little cute face. The sweet little 4-second end cap that wins us the game, man.
Get those cookies, boys.
Got him.
Got him, Grandma.
Damn, they want that D.
Yeah. You try to kite out in the open towards the middle. They want Zeech.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and bait Death Crit. Nice, I bait it. Earthen's at the marker.
I got teleported into God knows where. So.
I'm sorry, I just bothered.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm like, where's the Earthen now? I got teleported.
Alright, I'm silenced. I should be fine. When they dome, I'll drag them out, okay?
Okay.
Alright, now I gotta do big boy healing. Spamming healing surge.
I got a full fit in the healer here.
Nice.
I'm gonna
Drop
probably
the
try
DK.
and...
I killed the DK.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I might be the kill target here. You see?
I forgot to take Nullifying Shroud. I'm throwing.
Yeah. Well, I'll just stun the EH before you can do anything. Purging him too. Ground this. I got double Earthen down. Spirit Walk out. I had to trinket the fear.
Whoa?
You were just dead.
What the fuck happened to him? I didn't hit any buttons.
I hit all my buttons.
Zeech hit all the buttons, yeah. And while I'll admit our first couple of games were stomps as we were getting more familiar with the comp, the games eventually got harder and became longer as a result. Probably going to be a dampening game.
Just CC him when he Dragon Rages.
I'll see what I can do.
We don't line ourselves up to get triple stunned. I get your silence.
Wall.
Grounding.
Dragon Rage, careful.
Take the Eternity Surge, I'm hexing him. I'm gonna bring him to us. Oh. Huh.
That's a priest. That's a priest.
Yeah. Only I have enough globals in the game to actually press all my abilities. Tried to fade that here. I'm spam purging him. Spam purging disc. I'm gonna.
Careful, damn. Careful.
Yeah, I had to link that.
That's not good.
Anti-Ascendance. I really don't have any stops left. They
That's
swapped
Disperse.
Disperse. They have no swaps. That ignore the marker.
Huh?
Damn, you're in Africa. There we go. Here, better yet, let's get a pinch going on here. I want one here. I want one here.
Okay, I'll go the other side.
I ground the mind games.
I coil up, I coil dragon, I coil dragon. I stun dragon off, I stun dragon off.
Yeah, this is good, this is good. Weird, I trinket this.
I'm on Shadow Priest now, I'm on Shadow Priest now.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Anything in the back, I think we swapped to in the back.
I kick him on Shadow.
I fear dragon. Didn't get.
I kick him on Shadow too.
Time for your healer.
Got Earthen for you guys.
Got it. Full.
I'm gonna grip them together.
Yeah, I fear healer. DR. I stun off, I stun healer off. I fear off now too.
Kick SP on Shadow. I'm gonna lasso him. It's full.
I'm swapping a Esprit.
Urge him up.
Shadow for y'all.
Get a pinch going.
Dragon Rage, careful.
He's smoking himself on Observer.
Yeah, Observer's literally fucking roasting him.
You can get some cool enchants.
Oh,
too.
you guys want a buff? Yeah, here you go, my bad.
That would be cool.
This isn't cool.
No.
Observer, kill an Observer.
Unlock. Here's into my trimmer. Here's again into my trimmer. Polyed.
Chaos bolts, careful. I'm coming.
Grounding.
I'm
Kill
not
healing
ready
tide.
to grounding.
Trying to get you. And there goes all my shields. Trying to get a pand on him. Can't. Unfortunate. Grounding down. Beard full.
I have a little bit of burst for the Warlock.
Okay, we gotta get CC in the healer first.
Okay. Fearing healer full. He grounded it. Observer's up, please kill it.
Kill an Observer. Dead.
Chaos bolts incoming.
I Hellstone in the link. Fat heal for all of us. I can lasso. I'm gonna run the panda the healer.
No kicks.
Panda. Hexing him. I got it half. Tremor you.
I got full sleep. Oh, he tremored it?
Yeah, you can tremor sleep. Horrified.
Watch out. Here goes Chaos bolt. I kicked.
Nice. Portal. I'm gonna use healing tide for this.
Sorry,
Whoa,
I think
what
that
the
put you in a
fuck?
bad spot, my dude.
Oh, that's all. That was so confusing. Full fear on healer.
Observer.
Uh,
I can't get it. It's right on the pillar.
I'm grounding a lot of this Dragon Rage. I'm gonna trinket this. Got healing tide. He has healing tide in the back. Stunned. Trying to spam my Tremor Totem. Nice. He fused into my Tremor. Grounding down. Gonna get Hex.
I wall here.
He's using triple rift. This is big dam.
Yeah, this is scary, damn.
Looks like it's Zeech the kill target. I'll grip him.
Fearing healer full.
Good.
Full on healer. Kill Warlock.
Yeah.
Fearing again.
Observer,
Fearing
careful,
again.
careful.
I can hex out. It's full. I'm stunned. This has got to be it. Grounding. Deep breath.
Wait, kill! Oh my god. Nice.
Just in the mirror.
To be fair, I'm 13 minutes into my shuffle queue. So
I hate you both. All right, so I picked this game because our composition seems to get countered really fucking hard by any sort of variant of Thunder. So let's go ahead and take a review. Not spoiling episode 4 where we get our ass beat by every single Thunder on the ladder. All right, so we've got this game right here. Gates open. Ideally, we're going to be putting ourselves in a position where one of you guys who is not getting targeted by the warrior is going to put yourself between the healer and the shaman. Alright, looks like Zeech is the kill target here. I stun the warrior out to allow you some time to ramp up. Throw in a static field totem. I should have probably waited until he pressed Avatar to do that though, because that's a waste of a minute cooldown for no reason. Put down Earthen Wall here. Okay, we get Shadow Fury, but warrior's on Mega Stun DR with Power Infusion.
I think I could have Renewing Blazed here just to get some of the...
Yeah, but nothing's really happening to you though. Like, he's still holding on to Sharp and he hasn't pressed it. He dips really low and we get Pain Sup and Life Swap. And we just started our go. Like, I mean, yeah, you used Tyrant earlier on. We could get a second Tyrant coming up in like 35 seconds. Hey, you get CS, you get stunned. Shockwave. Colossal Smash is on you. And I can't tell if he's trading Avatar here yet. Doesn't say the command, and I'm not tracking it down here, unfortunately. I'll have to reconfigure that. But you do trade out the scales, which I like. Ultimate Penance going out. Okay, cool. Die by the sword. We got another overlap from them. Fantastic. Yeah, but there I think that we should use our second charge of Obsidian Scales, because you've got multiple cooldowns running with the Thunderous Roar, the Avatar. You're taking a lot of damage. The Shaman also has an Ascendance proc. He trinkets for it. I don't know what exactly he trinkets. We can go back a few seconds. He trinkets your Sleepwalk, which is really good. He seemed to not have pre-trimmered it. But it looks like I'm actually just able to keep you topped off fine here. So we get away with it. Primordial Wave goes out. That's usually going to be the sign that Ellie is about to burst. And I think it goes into the Grounding Totem. Never mind. Cool, so I land a Hex on the Ellie, but it just seems to be kind of wasted because we're not doing anything with it. I could have held off on that until we pushed up a little bit. Got good pressure on the Priest. He dips behind the pillar. So this is classic caster positioning, right? Where I think Zeech, you will want to reposition the most just since you have the longer range. So if you want to come out to like where my cursor is right over here, that would be ideal. Tiger's Peak is going to be a caster's paradise. Damn, you could probably stay here, and then I need to pivot to like this corner right here so I can heal you both. And that way neither of them can CC me. They're taking damage from both sides. It's bad news. I mean, we already got both of their pain suppressions. The only thing I don't think we got from them was Dome, but we got Life Swap too. Warrior doesn't have Trinket. Or Die by the Sword. The Ellie Shaman, I don't think he has Wall. I might be wrong, but I don't think he has Wall here. So this is our position to win with just one good setup. Never mind, he presses Wall. I'm stupid. But we don't capitalize on it, and they kind of shift the momentum on us. Colossal Smash goes on to you. The Warrior's running after you. Damn, eats a lot of Ellie damage here. And now we're getting swapped to and going on the back foot. It's a really bad tide placement for me. If I did place it, I should have yeeted it. But he parries again, goes back on cooldown. We're sitting a fear. Alright, Thunderous Roar and Avatar again. Nice. So, where is your positioning? Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's good positioning here, and then they swap to you. In which case, you want to kite them back to the open here to bring their to bring their healer out. We're about even on mana right now.
Which is crazy to think about. We've applied so much more pressure overall, but
Yeah, maybe I'll have to go back and look at my specific casts, and I'll probably do it after I upload this episode of like times where I can healing wave instead of healing surge, or even right now, I probably don't need to top you to exactly 100%. I think part of what's getting me is that I'm over healing a lot, as opposed to using some like lower, more efficient mana spells by going aggressive. Alright, we're hitting the Ellie some more. Again, if we can just set up a pinch here, this game would have been curtains for the enemy. So they've already traded Dome a little bit ago. Desperate Prayer from the Priest. Both of us are about the same mana-wise right now. Game's getting a little bit low. I get the NS on him. The Colossal Smash is getting really high. 16% dampening on top of it. We overlap Obsidian Scales and Link there. But, I mean, all of them are pressing wall right now, which is good. X on Z gets immediately broken from the Warrior. Thunderous Roar dots picking us all away. Damn just kind of gets dropped when I go So, a couple things from here. Overall, our positioning is going to be a lot different than it was when we were melee cleave. We're not going to be hiding behind pillars as much, and when it comes to these situations where we can pinch, we want to make sure you both are very far away from each other, so that one of you gets the highest value you can from free casting or bullying the enemy healer, setting up kill windows with spammable CC. And I'm going to help the other one survive. Things that I can look at too are looking for opportunities to drink sooner. Like if you guys do have them pressured, for instance, let's go back to earlier on in the VOD. Like if you go here and you go here, I see that both of you have cooldowns up. I can use this opportunity while I'm behind on mana to come up this place right here behind this pillar and drink. Because I know you both will be fine. We are on the front foot. Is that even the right term? Front foot? Who knows? And then that can get us a lead too. There's a lot of... It's not necessarily that we blundered so hard because we're still in like the 1800, 1900 MMR range, but we had a lot of missed wins in this one. Thoughts?
no, I think you're right. I think that I could position like way more aggressively, especially like on the other side of the pillar. I could put my port on, if like where my port is right now. When we were like postured up towards them, I could place my port in the same position, just on their pillar instead, and then I can play on the left side and pinch them. And I think that the way we're playing right now, which is way more of a like do as much damage as humanly possible while CCing the healer and winning through that playstyle instead of setting up kills, because we aren't super familiar with our kill windows yet, and we're not super familiar with setting up our kills yet. So the way we're playing right now, I think that it would definitely be more beneficial for you to like get as many sips and drinks as possible instead of like trying to posture and play aggressive with us. Yeah, I know that's not like how the shaman plays, but I feel like we could benefit from it in like games like this, for example.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you having mana at the end would have even caused Dam not to die there, but I just feel like the way we're playing now, it'd be more beneficial to just always have the mana game in our back pocket.
Yeah.
But I agree that I could posture and take a more aggressive stance, position wise, like on the left side of their pillar. As of right now, like this game was pretty fresh into our Warlock Dragon adventure. So I'm still kind of learning how Dam positions. And I guess my main concern, not being on the same pillar, on the same side of the pillar as Dam, is that Dam's gonna kite on the other side of the pillar. He's gonna lead the warrior away, and the warrior and the shaman is just gonna follow. And then all of a sudden, I'm out of line of sight.
So
Right? Like he's
well,
so.
I can see your concern with like, kiting around the pillar and that stuff. Dam should not be kiting around the pillar. Dam should be kiting out in the open. So like, let's say they're training Dam, I'm right here, you're back here. Dam
Mhm.
should be probably kiting out over towards here, towards this wall, or over here towards this wall, where you still have that line of sight and you can still max range. You only have to make minor adjustments, right? But they're still out in the open, and it would be a massive inconvenience for them to try and swap to you or to me. It's not like solo shuffle where we have to like hug a pillar to try and avoid damage as much. When we're playing with another caster, we will always want to be standing out in the open. In general.
That's fair. Yeah.
Cool.
I
All right,
agree.
let's go ahead and play some more games. Totally did not record that several days after the session and right before I'm supposed to render and upload the video. Nope, not at all. We played a lot more games, but regardless, the rest of the session went well, and we found that we were a lot more comfortable in this comp. I made a comment at one of the games like, oh yeah, this is what we're going to get glad with. And we were feeling really great. So with that being said, let's go into the lessons learned. Alrighty, moving on to the week 3 lessons learned. Number 1. If it's not working, consider changing it. Something that I've said several times on this channel and will continue to iterate with each passing episode is that your journey to hit your rating goals is not a sprint, but it is going to be a marathon. Because of this, it is important that you are having fun and that what you are playing you can stick with for a very long while. But if you're not having fun, consider making a change. I know it can be dangerous to fall into the trap of becoming an altaholic and therefore not developing any class mastery, but if you reach a rating threshold where you start to hate your class, maybe it's time to make a change to something that would suit your playstyle better. And that leads into number 2, playing to your strengths. As you saw earlier, Dam and Zicho are two very different DPS players with very different personalities, and so therefore they have naturally different playstyles that either of them prefer. Regarding the whole TSG composition, we had both of those players on their weaker roles, and so when we swapped to a composition where they were on their stronger roles, they were able to find more immediate success because it felt more natural to them. It's important to, if you ever find friends in LFG, if you ever do end up being on an arena team, that you assess your teammates, what their strengths are, what they enjoy in a class, what makes the game fun to them, and what they enjoy about WoW PvP. From that, you'll generally be able to get an idea of a list of specializations that would kind of fit that player's playstyle. For instance, if a player likes to be a tactician, then maybe something like a sub-rogue or a Windwalker monk would suit them best. Or if they like to go in and run things down, maybe consider a warrior or a demon hunter. Number 3, and this goes really strongly into that mental video that I made, the most recent video on my channel before this one, is that comparison is the thief of joy. What do I mean by this? I'll admit, I've been getting frustrated. I'm going to spoil the results. We are still in the 1800s bracket because the two of them had to do their placement games on their new characters. I fell into the trap of comparison where I would constantly compare myself and my team's journey to what I was seeing on Twitter or what I was seeing on Reddit. All these other players are already hitting their rating goals of Duelist and Gladiator, and myself, who has been a very high Duelist player in the past, is stuck at 1800. Not exactly 1800, but in the 1800s bracket, fighting these multi-gladiators who also can't seem to climb. I'll admit, it's frustrating. It destroys my mental. I think about it a lot at night, but I have learned that the more I continue to look at that, the less fun I have with the game. So, if you are experiencing any of these similar issues, I would advise you to just turn off the social media, enjoy the game for what it is, get more reps in, try to meet more people, do literally anything except for that. I'm not the best orator if you can't tell. Number 4, progress is not linear. Sometimes you're going to go on massive loss streaks. Sometimes you will start a session by going on a massive loss streak. That is perfectly okay. It's weird how rating works because it's not necessarily like you're going to be climbing at a certain rate per week. And if you try to formulaically develop a best climbing algorithm, it's just not going to work out. Sometimes you're going to go on a loss streak before you start a session. Sometimes everything will be going well, you're going to hit a season high, and then you're going to lose 200 CR in the matter of 10 minutes. It is a very crazy game, and sometimes we will climb a lot and you'll hit a plateau, and once you hit that plateau, you'll recognize that you need to develop a new set of skills to progress to the next skill bracket. I think if you can internalize this one the most, and keep that with you as you play the game, you will find the most success. Number 5, I hate Windwalker Monks. This class is fucking stupid. It's absolutely absurd that a Windwalker in full greens with like 700,000 health is able to do 145,000 sustained DPS to my... Alright, and on to the week 3 results. Yep, that's it. On the screen. Yep. Hope things get better by episode 4. I'm gonna do the outro now. That's it for Zero to Hero episode 3. If you guys enjoyed this content that you're watching, please engage with the video some way. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, share, etc. Until next time, my name's Moon, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.